Hi, everyone. Hope you're all doing fantastic. On a Thursday evening, I'm sure you're middle of your work and parallelly watching the World Cup, England versus New Zealand. Is it? On top of it, you joined our webinar. I really appreciate your passion to learn. And by the way, this is Vasant from Cloud Odyssey, a Salesforce technical consultant. And as per our commitment, Cloud Odyssey is doing monthly webinars. And this month, for the October, we came up with another fantastic topic as we are touching latest trends, latest innovations in the Salesforce ecosystem. This month, we came up with a webinar on Salesforce Order Management System, which is a crucial part in a typical e-commerce site. As a typical e-commerce user, what do? We'll open any e-commerce site, just we'll choose the products, add it to the cart, make payment, done. Within a day or two, we'll get our order. But ideally, what happens after making the payment and before receiving the delivery? This is called the order management system. This is what even I knew about it. But to give us a good glimpse, what is exactly happening behind the screens, we are having a commerce architect with us today who is having a decade plus experience in the commerce ecosystem and architected multiple enterprise level projects, who is none other than Ugandhar Thalapaneni. He is with us today. Hi, Ugandhar.
Hey, hi Vasant, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks.
Thank you. Even along with the viewers, I'm so curious to know about the behind the screens topic.
Sure.
So
Yep.
why don't we start into that?
Sure. We'll get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the webinar on the Salesforce Order Management System and Salesforce Omnichannel Inventory. So we have a lot of important topics, otherwise fantastic topics to cover for today. Let's get started. Okay. So if some of you are new to the word order management system, let us try to understand what is order management system first before we deep dive into it, right? So the Salesforce Order Management System, it is a product built on the Salesforce CRM platform or the Salesforce core platform, if you want to call it. So um, typically what we will do, in today's world, we are all habituated with the online shopping. For example, you might have placed orders in Amazon, Titan kind of websites, right? And we, as Vasant rightly mentioned, we add the items to the cart, and then do the payment, and the order will get placed, and within a day or two you will receive your order. But what happens after you place the order? So this is where the order management system will come into the picture, right? So now the order will enter into the order management system, and the order management system will take that order into the different through the different stages, and finally it will deliver the product to your address, right? So, and also apart from doing that, the post purchase operations, for example, you can cancel an item, you can return an item by calling the customer care, or maybe from your order history pages, things of that nature. So you can think of order management system is one which is working behind the scenes from the moment you place the order to the moment you receive the order to your address, and also the post purchase operations like the returns, cancellations, things of that nature, right? So the order management, Salesforce Order Management System for that matter, can do a lot of amazing things. Some of them are listed here. For example, the order routing, the distributed order management. But if you are new to these terminologies, order routing, distributed order management, don't worry about them. We will go in deep about these two in our upcoming slides, right? But we are all aware of how order management system can do the shipping, right? Once the shipping is done, it can capture the payment, which means that the authorized amount will get moved to the merchant account, right? And also it can cancel the orders, it can do the refunds, it can create the invoice, right? It can do the returns, things of that nature. So we will see all of that in our demo, right, where exactly we can do all this in our upcoming slides. Now, so once, as I mentioned, once we place the order will enter into the order management system, right? So whatever the order management system the merchant is using, so for today's session we are taking the Salesforce order management system. So whatever so you can see the buy button here, the place order, authorize payment, and the fraud check, right? So that is the e-commerce system where you will be placing the order, right? So you will place the order, and from the e-commerce site itself, the amount will get authorized, which means that the amount will get blocked from your account, and then the order will get placed. So once the order is placed, then that order will enter into the order management system. You can see the grayed out section here highlighted, right? The order management. So now the order will enter into the order management, and only when the inventory is available, it can confirm the order, right? The inventory may or may not be available sometimes. Only when the inventory is available, the order will get confirmed, and also it will send a notification to the user. You can see the notification confirm order here, and that order will be assigned to one of the fulfillment location, right? So that fulfillment location is nothing but it can be a warehouse, it can be a distribution center, it can be a retail store which is capable of shipping that product from that particular location. So that is what is called the send fulfillment orders to the locations here. um, and then what happens, the location which is which received this order, right? That fulfillment location will pick back that particular item, and also we can trigger in, and it will notify the order management system that okay, this is the latest status of your order, and order management system can notify the customer by sending an email saying okay, your order is under processing, right? It is just to make sure the customer is getting updates on what is going on with his order, right? Now once the pick pack is done, they will ship the order, they will hand over the product to some courier partner. At the same time, they will also capture the payment, which means the authorized amount now will be captured by using some payment gateway integration. And also, the customer will be notified in this case saying, okay, your order has been shipped, right? We have, you might have seen in the e commerce websites like, your order is shipped, right? So now, so once the order is shipped, right, it will get delivered to the customer, right? To the customer, that is like you and me will receive the order, and done, right? So the order has been delivered. So now the post purchase operations will come into the picture, meaning if I don't like the item, or if the item is not up to the specifications, right, what I can do, I can cancel the item, I can return the item, right? So once you return the item, what will happen, you will get the refunds, right? So that is what, so you can initiate the returns, and order management system will refund the amount to you, and also it will create the credit memo, right? Like credit memo is nothing but the invoice with negative amount, right? The credit memo. And the internal systems like the merchant ERPs might get updated with that data. So if you look at it, it is very high level order life cycle within the Salesforce order management system. But if you ask me, it's all about that, not exactly, right? Just to make it simple, this is the high level the order life cycle within the Salesforce order management system. But you can do a lot of things. Let me give you one use case. For example, the merchant is allowing the customers to buy a gift card, right? If you look at it, the e-gift card, it is not a physical product, right? So as soon as the order enters into the order management system, so what order management system can do is it can call the gift card provider, it can get the gift card from the gift card provider, send an email to the customer, and capture the payment even without sending that order to a physical location, because it is not a real product, it is a digital product. So the digital products can be processed by the order management system itself. Okay, so that's about the order lifecycle. Now we got some idea on, okay, what is Salesforce Order Management System and how the order will move from one step to the other step within the Salesforce Order Management System, right? So now, as a developer, or if you are a merchant, you want to explore how this order management system works on your own, right? So the question is, do I need an org, or what kind of org I need to just to explore the product, right? You can create a developer edition, right, just by signing up in developer.salesforce.com. OMS license is already included as part of the developer edition. You can create that, and we have provided couple of documents here. If your business model is B2C, then you can follow the document that we have mentioned here. If your business model is B2B or D2C, then you can specify the PDF document that we have provided here. So these are all the very simple steps. You can do it on your own. Just to in the interest of time, we are not doing it in this session. So we have the pre-configured orgs where we are gonna demo the order management system.
Ugandhar,
Yep.
when before getting into the next slide, I have a question here. Suppose, as a typical user, right, as I see in the screens as well, like the thing when order management comes in picture, it will check the warehouse as well whether the product is available.
Of course, because it will check the warehouse or the fulfillment location for that matter. So there could be more than one warehouse or more than one fulfillment locations configured within the OMS arc. It will check the inventory first, right?
Okay, is that
If that
happens before I place the order or before placing the order?
So one check will happen in your e-commerce site as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it is pretty much possible that there could be little delay in reaching the inventory updates to the e-commerce system.
Okay, delay in
So
terms of seconds or
maybe
micro?
seconds, maybe minutes,
Okay,
not more than that,
okay.
right?
Like the question I have was, suppose if I place the order, if I made the payment,
Mhm.
and after that, if the product is not available in the inventory,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
what for such a case? Like I already made
See,
the payment.
for example, you have an e-commerce website. It is one of the channel where the merchant is selling their products,
Agreed.
right?
Yeah.
There could be a lot of other channels.
Hmm.
For example, someone can walk into a store and buy an item.
Yes.
So that inventory should get reflected in the e-commerce website.
Okay.
So it will take
From an
some time to reach that inventory to the e-commerce website. So meanwhile, if someone would have placed an order,
okay.
by the time this order reaches the OMS and
Hmm.
OMS checks for the inventory, okay, there is no inventory,
Hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
in such cases, the OMS has to cancel the order and refund the amount or
Oh.
do the authorities.
Okay. But this is a rare scenario, is it?
It's a very rare scenario, but as a double check, OMS always does that.
Okay. Nice. Nice
Yeah,
to know.
yeah,
Thank you.
because no merchant wants to keep the customers waiting for a long time,
Exactly.
right?
These days we don't have
So
that patience, no?
yeah, so all this happens. So the moment you place the order, within 5 to 10 minutes, in Salesforce is 1 minute, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, it depends on system to system. Within 5 to 10 minutes, it will reach the OMS, and OMS will check for the inventory. If inventory is not available, immediately cancel the order and notify the customer.
Okay.
Okay, if inventory is available and they're accepting the order, right? So you might have observed in Swiggy or Zomato, right? What happens
Correct.
if you place an order?
Yeah.
It
It
will
will.
wait for the restaurant to accept the order.
Correct. I place the order, but the restaurant has to accept it.
Right?
Yeah.
Here, your restaurant is your fulfillment location.
Okay.
Right?
Got it.
So it's like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. And if you are using the B2C, the demandware piece, right? You can also consider installing the plugin underscore order underscore management cartridge. It is used for self-service. If you have placed an order and you want to cancel it, or if you want to return it, right? You do not need to call the customer care. If you have this cartridge installed, you can go to your order history, you can cancel your item, or you can return your item on your own. So that is the reason why it is called the self-service functionality cartridge, right? So the customer itself can do this kind of operations. So if you look at all these steps, right, to enable if you want to get a OMS org, you do not need a support ticket, right? You do not need a support ticket. You just sign up for the developer edition. You will get the org within minutes, right, max, and you can follow these PDF documents and configure the OMS. The only place where you need the support ticket with Salesforce is when you want to install this self-service functionality cartridge, that is plugin underscore order underscore management. Reason being, whatever the updates that you are doing in the OMS, that should get automatically reflected in your order history, right? To have this communication between the B2C instance and the OMS org, you need to establish the trust relationship between these two systems. And if you raise a support ticket and they will be able to establish this trust, then you can start using this cartridge. If you don't have this trust relationship, what will happen is, only thing is the orders will flow into the order management, but order management will not be able to send the updated status back to the B2C instance. So B2C order history pages. Okay, so
Yeah.
that is the main difference, between sending the orders versus receiving the status back to the B2C. So raise a support ticket. Even if you are using sandboxes, you not necessarily be a merchant to be able to raise this case. Even if you are a developer and want to explore how this cartridge works, you can go ahead and raise it. Now, so that is about the OMS in brief, right? Now let us talk about omni-channel inventory. So the omni-channel inventory, again, it is a product built on the CRM platform, right? And the main application of the omni-channel inventory is it is used to provide the almost near real-time inventory updates to your e-commerce engine or to the OMS, right? So if you look at this, anyways, we will look at the combined architecture of the e-commerce site, the order management system, and omni-channel inventory. But the omni-channel inventory application will provide the inventory updates to both your e-commerce site and also to your order management system. We will see that practically, where to see this omni-channel inventory app and how to use it in a minute. But for now, we need to understand some terminologies before we explore omni-channel inventory further, right? So location group, and location group assignment. So there are some differences between these three terminologies, and it is very, very important to understand. A location, right? As its name suggests, it is a physical location. So which means that if you go on to the go to the city, you should be able to see that location, right, physically, right, where the products does exist physically, right? So it is a location where the inventory is available. For example, it can be a warehouse, it can be a distribution center, it can be a retail store, right? So you can see a lot of retail stores across the city, right? So these are all the stores, the locations which can fulfill, or other words, ship the item from that location. So a location, just keep in mind, it is a physical location where the inventory exists, and those locations are capable of shipping the products from their location, right? And that is a location, and we will need to create these location records in our omni-channel org. The second thing is the location group. A location group physically doesn't exist, but it represents the group of locations. Okay, it represents the group of locations. So, for example, I have a e-commerce store, right? And I have 50 stores across India. Now, 50 physical stores across India, and I have an e-commerce store as well. Now, if I place an order in this e-commerce store, if the item is available in any of these locations, then the item should be able to we should be able to ship the product from that location wherever it is available. So to be able to do that, what we will do, we will create a location group, and we will associate these locations, the individual locations, to this location group. That is nothing but a location group. So let us talk about some use cases where the location group is useful. So for example, I have two brand websites, brand A and brand B, and both are running in the same org or if you are a B2C experienced merchant or a developer, then you can call it as a business manager, right? So you have two websites, brand A and brand B. Both are running in same org or in the business manager. So now for brand A, across India, I have 50 locations. And for brand B, across India, I have 100 locations. Now, if I place an order from brand A, this order should be fulfilled by the stores belongs to this brand A. If I place an order in brand B, that order should be fulfilled by the stores associated with this brand B. Now, what I can do, I can create one location group for brand A, one location group for brand B, and associate all the locations belongs to brand A in the location group A, and associate all the locations belongs to the brand B for the location group B, and assign those location groups to the the respective sites, so that the orders will get routed accordingly. So look at location group as a aggregate view of the individual locations assigned to that location group. Okay, but location group itself will not be able to fulfill an item, right? The location group again depends on the individual locations which are assigned to that location group. The only reason why we are using a location group is to aggregate the inventory of the individual locations under that location group. And we have third one, that is location group assignment. The relationship between a location and a location group is nothing but the location group assignment. And it is I hope this is very simple to understand, the location group assignment. The only thing that you need to keep in mind is, to be very clear, you should have the location, a very clear understanding on the location and a location group. The location physically exists, location group doesn't exist physically, but again it represents multiple locations. Okay, but we will show you clearly how, where you can see the location, where you can see the location group, things of that nature in a minute as part of our demo. So we need to understand there are some terminologies for the omni-channel inventory. Before we deep dive into the demo, we should be very clear on these terminologies, right? So for example, quantity reserved. If you are placing an order, right, and immediately the moment you place the order, the inventory should get reserved for you in the omni-channel inventory, so that your item will be fulfilled for sure, because the inventory is reserved for you, right? No one else will be able to take that product. It is reserved exclusively for you, so there will be a hold placed on the inventory availability, so that you, the system can make sure that your item will be fulfilled for sure. So the moment you place the order, even before it reaches OMS, right, the moment you place the order, there will be a hold on the quantity with which you have placed in the omnichannel inventory, so reserving the inventory. Next, the future inventory. The future inventory deals with the pre-order and the back order. So the pre-order quantity and back order quantity. So that is nothing but future quantity. So future inventory. So what it means, right? The inventory is not available today, but it will be available in the future. That is nothing but pre-order and the back order. Next, quantity on hand. So how much quantity we have currently in our locations, that is quantity on hand, right? It doesn't consider the future inventory or quantity reserved, nothing. So how much quantity we have currently at this point in time, right? That is quantity on hand. Next, safety stock count. See, for example, as a merchant, I have 100 quantity available with me for XYZ product. I don't want to expose the entire 100 quantity to the public. Reason being, for example, I received 100 orders, one for each item, and while fulfilling those orders, I found that one of the item is defective. So what will happen? I need to cancel one item because I'm not able to fulfill it. So the safety stock, right? Let us say I have 100 item. If I say the safety stock is 2, then how much quantity I will be able to sell online? Only 98, right? The safety stock is intentionally held back to deal with certain unforeseen conditions. and the available to fulfill, right? See, if you look at the formula, we have mentioned some formula here: quantity on hand minus quantity reserved minus safety stock. That will give you the available to fulfill, right? So this available to fulfill does not consider the future inventory. If you look at it, right, it is only the quantity on hand minus quantity reserved minus safety stock. That is your available to fulfill. Available to order, you might have observed, is not only about the available inventory, but you can also purchase when the item is back order or pre-order, right? For example, iPhones we can pre-order, right? So that is available to order. So available to order, if you want to call it, you can also call it as ATS, right? If you are available to sell, that is nothing but ATO, available to order. So the main difference between available to fulfill and available to order is available to order will also include the future inventory, but available to fulfill will not include the future inventory. Available to fulfill in the sense how much quantity I will be able to fulfill at this point in time, right? That is available to fulfill. Available to order, it includes everything, the future inventory plus current inventory.
So, just have a question here.
Yeah.
It's like we do see this big billion days, and actually we literally wait for it. At that time, what I do normally is I'll add all the products whatever I like in the cart, and I'll keep it. And whenever the big billion day starts, we'll hit the button. So, is it something like available to order getting enabled over there at that moment? So, I'm adding it in my
See,
cart.
if you just add the items to your cart,
Hmm.
that will not put a reservation on the inventory.
Okay.
Okay, if you place the order, see, anyone can go and place the for example, let us say for one mobile, 1,000 quantities available.
Hmm.
What I will do, I'll go and add entire 1,000 items to my cart and keep it in my cart. It will not. So
Correct.
right, if the system is really reserving the inventory here, then
Mhm.
others will not be able to place the order.
Exactly. Maybe. Okay.
Exactly.
Huh.
So the reservation will be placed.
Hmm.
There will be hold on the inventory. The hold will be placed on the inventory only when you place the order, not when you add the item to the cart.
Okay. Placing in the sense payment is done.
Yeah, payment is done. Yeah,
Okay. Got it.
we call it as place the order.
Okay.
So okay.
I'm not a commerce
Yeah,
expert.
yeah,
And I have a follow-up question actually.
yeah, sure.
We heard this location and location groups, no? Suppose in a typical order, I added diversified items. Suppose I ordered a mobile and as well as a t-shirt
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the same order, which is totally two different groups and everything. So in the same order, I'm keeping them.
yeah.
So at the moment I place the order, will it check both the location
Yeah.
groups and check the
So this is one of the use case that we're going to discuss in today's session.
Oh, is
So
it?
if you remember at the beginning, I said the order routing and distributed order management system,
Hmm.
right? These two terminologies. So your use case comes under that.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we have a separate slide for distributed order
I'm
management system.
I'm
We'll
over
discuss.
curious then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me wait for it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So I understand that terminologies with some theory will be difficult for anyone to remember and understand the concept behind it, right? So we have a pictorial representation of these terminologies here. So let me try to explain these terminologies with a diagram. So if you look at it, we have couple of storefronts. So storefront is nothing but an e-commerce website. Okay. So we have the US storefront and the Canada storefront. I have two different websites. If I place an order, you can see the marks here, right? If I place an order in US storefront, that item can be fulfilled from either US store 1 or from warehouse 1. But if I place an order from Canada storefront, that item will be placed from either warehouse 1 or from warehouse 2. But if you look at it, the CS store 1 that is not eligible for the online, that is not assigned to the site, right? That inventory is not assigned to the site, but it is eligible for pickup. BOPIS, buy online, pick up in store. Okay, so the CS store 1 is eligible for only buy online pickup in store, but the store is not actually capable of doing the shipments. But US store 1, warehouse 1, and warehouse 2, these three are eligible, can do the shipments, and that is the reason why they are assigned to the sites. See, now if you look at, especially if there are any B2C developers, the demandware piece, experienced developers or merchants here, we'll be able to assign only one inventory list to the site at any given point in time, right? But here we are talking about US Store 1 and Warehouse 1, both are assigned to the US Store front, right? Which is, if it is a really inventory list, then it is not possible, right? So this is where the location group will come into the picture. The location group will come into the picture, and that will group US Store 1 and Warehouse 1 to a group, to a single group, and that group will be assigned to the site. So now that location group will have the inventory of both US Store 1 and also the Warehouse 1. The same thing with Canada Storefront as well, right? So Canada Storefront also pointing to both Warehouse 1 and Warehouse 2. But here what will happen? We will create a location group which will group Warehouse 1 and Warehouse 2, and that location group will be mapped to the Canada Storefront. So now if I place an order in Canada Storefront, that will be fulfilled by either Warehouse 1 or Warehouse 2, depending on so many things that we will talk about in a minute. So now look at it. The on-hand total is 55 for US storefront, right? That is plus on-hand total 55. If you look at it, there is plus mark at the beginning, right? 55. So a location group itself will not have the inventory because it doesn't exist physically. It represents the individual locations under that location group. So that 55 under the US storefront is the result of the on-hand total in US store 1 plus the on-hand total in warehouse 1. So 20 plus 35, that is coming to 55 as on-hand total in US storefront 1, right? And group reserved is 10. So there are some reservations placed under the group, but your location group will not be able to fulfill those reservations, right? They cannot ship the items. What will happen eventually is those 10, whatever is reserved, those reservations will be transferred to the individual locations under that location group. Okay. Now, the location reserved total is 15 in the US storefront, right? So what is it? Look at the location reserved under US store 1 and location reserved under the warehouse 1. So 10 plus 5, that is 15. So it is just, the sum of the on hand or the location reserved or safety stock, all this will be aggregated and that will be associated with the location group. But look at the inventory eligible for pickup, right? See, for example, I'm placing an order as a BOPIS item. I'm specifically selecting I want this item from this particular store, right? Buy online, pick up from store. I can sitting in my office, right? I can place an order and go to the store and pick up the item.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm specifically selecting, okay, this is the location from where I want the item. So in those kind of situations, there will not be any transfer of reservations. So if you place an order for one store, it will be with that store. If that store is not able to fulfill your item, then your order will be rejected and you will get refund.
Okay, but in the back end, maybe in that store is not having that item. It may get it from the warehouse. No,
maybe internally they can.
That piece is not managed in the order management system.
That will not be managed in the order management system. But still, if they are getting the item from the warehouse, obviously it is impacting the warehouse inventory.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And that should get updated in Omnichannel Inventory.
Yes.
Right? So that communication should be there, but it will be taken care of offline.
Okay. Because I chose normally the nearby warehouse, right?
Exactly.
For me.
Yeah. Store. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. So coming to your topic, Vasant. So the distributed order management system, right? See, think about this. You have placed an order with only, with a mobile and with a t-shirt, single order, let us say in Amazon, right? With a mobile and a t-shirt, right? So the order will enter into the order management system. Then it will check if these two items can be fulfilled by one location, meaning one store or one warehouse or one distribution center. So everything is a location, right? So order management system will primarily check if it can be fulfilled by one location without any splits. okay, without splitting your order.
Got it.
If that is not possible, then if you look at it, the first one is one location. For the second one, there are two locations, location 1 and location 2. So here it will check, okay, it can be fulfilled with one split, meaning one mobile by one location, t-shirt by another location. If it can be done, then it will go with that, right? So for example, you have placed an order with 10 items, right? Okay, so now first it will check if all these 10 items can be fulfilled by one location. If not, then it will try to split your order into two and see if those orders can be fulfilled by at least two locations. If that is also not possible, then it will go to two splits. So here it will check for in three locations. If three locations can fulfill these 10 items, maybe three by one location, another three by one location, another four by another location, right? It will check up to maximum two splits, right? If it is not possible even with two splits, then it will stop the routing,
Okay.
okay, and
Yeah.
ask the merchant to route it manually. However, some merchants, okay, I want to try with five splits.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is something configurable within the OMS system. So I can configure how many splits I want to go with as a merchant. Okay, and if that count is exceeded, if that count is exceeded, then we will need to go with the manual routing. Okay,
Got it.
so in your example, obviously a t-shirt and a mobile cannot be shipped by the same location.
Correct.
So split is definitely required, most likely,
Hmm.
right? So in those cases, it can go with one split.
Is it like totally dynamic, the splitting?
Everything is dynamic, automated. So what will happen the moment when the order enters into the OMS is there will be some the flows.
Okay.
Flows.
Yeah.
Core concept. Flows.
Okay.
Okay.
Our flows.
Yeah. Yeah. Flows. So they will start running behind the scenes,
Mhm.
and it will route that order or the items in that order to the appropriate locations. How that routing will be done, we'll see that in a minute.
Okay.
Even that is in plan.
Okay.
Okay, so if you look at it in this way, so what is happening here? You are effectively utilizing your network of stores to route the orders with one split, two splits, right? You're making your stores to fulfill your items. The second thing, you are reducing the cost. See, look at it. If there are 10 items and those 10 items are being shipped by 10 different locations, what will be the shipping cost? And you are checking if with these splits, okay, one split, two split, three splits, right? And you are reducing the number of splits. For example, instead of 10 locations, let us say three locations are capable of fulfilling this order, all these 10 items. Then you are just fulfilling this order only with three splits. So 10 shipments versus three shipments, right? So what happens to the shipping cost here? Obviously, it is reduced. Now, fulfill faster. So now, instead of routing the orders to the individual one location each item, right? What you are doing, you are checking if one location can fulfill more than one item, right? And also there is a concept called the nearest location, right? That we will see in upcoming slides. So that will make your delivery much faster, right? So this is called the distributed order management, right? So your order is distributed across all your fulfillment locations.
Awesome. Awesome. And actually, this is bringing me a question. This is something like in a typical store, what do we keep? Similar sort of, I mean, dependent items. Suppose if there is a bread, we will keep jam beside that.
Yeah.
As a typical tendency, people will purchase, and the butter beside that.
Yeah.
Correct, right?
Right.
So here it's a location, right? Location, the location grouping is happening. So all sort of these products will be under one location. Will this routing happens? Not a location.
Not
Location.
necessarily be. See, every item is an individual product.
Agreed.
In your case, bread is a different product, jam is a different product.
Yeah.
If these two can be full, if these two are available in one location, then that location will be picked.
Correct.
For example, these two are not available in a location.
Huh.
That is when the splitting happens.
Okay. The splitting. Yeah. Even we brought this, no? The splitting, if we reduce the number of splits, the
shipping cost will get
shipping cost
reduced,
will get
and
reduced.
the speed of delivery will obviously increase,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
See, look at it this way, right? For example, you have ordered a mobile
Hmm.
and the back case,
Yeah. Correct.
right? So most of the times these two will not arrive in the same shipment.
Correct.
They'll get split, right?
Yeah.
Your back case might be shipped by some other company, I mean some other store,
Hmm.
and your mobile will be shipped by some other store, right? Why? Because one store is not able to fulfill these two items. Okay.
Correct.
So recently I ordered Lenovo laptop,
Hmm.
okay, with a
Backpack.
backpack.
Huh.
Okay. So these two are shipped by same location.
Okay.
So I got these two items at the same time. Okay.
Got it.
But it may not be the case, right? For example, if the bag is not available in that location, maybe that will be taken care of by some other location, and laptop by some other location, and I may get these two in two different shipments.
Okay. So will that impact the end user with the delivery charges?
Um, no. So delivery charge will be collected at the time of order placing itself.
Correct.
Okay. If delivery charge is more,
Huh. That means
then
this is happening.
merchant has to bear that amount, right?
Okay.
So that is where the splitting will help the merchant to reduce the shipping cost.
Got it.
Okay, so here it is actually we need to think in the merchant perspective than the end user perspective,
Okay.
right? So, for example, I'm a Prime user.
Hmm.
I don't care about the shipping cost, how many splits and all,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So now coming to so now we got an idea on what is omni-channel inventory, right? So now again you want to try or explore OCI, omni-channel inventory, right? So you can definitely have an org, right? Again, create a developer edition, or if you are also using the OMS, use the same org that you have created for the OMS, right? Use the same org, and you can start configuring the OCI in this org. So we have provided some PDF files here, which you will need to follow to be able to configure the OCI in your org. If you are using OMS, make sure you are using the same org for OCI as well. Okay, don't use a different org, that will make the things complicated. Um, and also we have provided one DOM routing package. So distributed order management package, it is a managed package. You will need to install that. That will give you a lot of flows, which will take care of routing these items to the individual locations from the location groups. Yeah. And keep in mind, omni-channel inventory will not replace WMS, right? You will still need to have the WMS or the inventory source for that matter, WMS or ERP, RPYs, whatever. You need to have the warehouse management system along with omni-channel inventory. If you have omni-channel inventory, that doesn't mean that you do not need to have the WMS. You should still have the WMS to feed the omni-channel inventory about the inventory information. So um, to feed to interact with the OCI in this case, uh, we need to have some APIs to update the data in the OCI using some headless APIs. So the headless API Postman collection is provided here. How to use it to update the inventory in OCI, that we will show in a minute practically. But for now, keep in mind, whatever the system, typically the WMS system, which is responsible for feeding the inventory to omnichannel inventory, should use these headless APIs to update the inventory in the omnichannel. Okay, so with that said, now we have some knowledge on what is OMS, what is OCI, right? And we know Commerce Cloud, right? It can be B2C or B2B, whatever. So here is the orchestration of all these three systems. So the B2C, so we took B2C as an example, and we have the order management system, and we have the omni-channel inventory, right? So what will happen here is that if you look at, there is some WMS, ERP, and POS. So those are the inventory sources, right? So those will update the inventory in the Omnichannel app using the headless APIs. From there, the availability information will go to the B2C. You can see the get availability, right? Reservations, arrow marks here. From Omnichannel Inventory, the inventory will get updated in the B2C Commerce Business Manager. And once you place the order in the B2C Commerce website, then that order will go to the order management system, right? And if you look at the B2C Commerce storefront, as and when you place the order, a reservation will happen in the Omnichannel Inventory, and then the order will go to the order management system, and order management system will again communicate with Omnichannel Inventory to know in which locations the inventory is available, and it will route. You can see the allocation engine here. So the allocation engine will transfer the reservations to the locations from the location groups, and the inventory will get decremented in the Omnichannel Inventory once the item is shipped, right? So it's very simple. You are placing an order in the website, the inventory will be reserved in the Omnichannel Inventory, and then the order will go to the order management system. Order management system will fulfill the item and decrement the inventory in the Omnichannel Inventory, because your item is fulfilled, delivered, right? So obviously we need to update the inventory here, right?
So
So
for
for
example,
example, if some store is talking to your use, coming to your use case, right?
Okay.
If some store is going to the WMS to take a product to fulfill the item, then the WMS should update the omnichannel inventory by using the headless APIs,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So we need to make sure that omnichannel inventory application is up to date with the inventory. Then it will do a lot of calculations to calculate available to order, available to fulfill, safety stock, things of that nature. That will take care of it.
Okay. And even when the order gets placed, the order management system is decrementing the item from the
In the
omnichannel.
omnichannel inventory, yeah,
And what
if they are fulfilling the item.
yes, yes, after fulfilling it. And what about the warehouse? Like in the warehouse also, will that be reduced?
So, yeah, obviously, yes.
Obviously, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's omnichannel is like a bus between all these things.
Yeah. See, what will happen? Order management system, we are just marking the item as fulfilled,
Hmm.
but order management system itself is not fulfilling the item, right?
Yeah.
So the warehouse management staff who is shipping the item, they are actually updating their system WMS,
Hmm.
and also they are marking the item as fulfilled in the order management system,
Got it. Got it. Yeah.
right? The actual shipping still happens from the WMS,
Correct. Correct.
right? The
Hmm.
order management system, they are just marking the item as fulfilled so that the inventory will get decremented here,
Hmm.
but it is already decremented in WMS.
Yes. And
Right?
it's a two-way integration, is it?
It's a two-way integration.
Everything.
Yeah.
WMS, omnichannel.
Even WMS needs to be integrated with Omnichannel by using these headless APIs.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Got it.
So with that said, we got some idea on what is OMS, what is Omnichannel Inventory, and how it can communicate with the WMS and the storefront. Right now, we have 10 more minutes left, so we will see a practical demo how it works. It will be very very interesting. Right? So
Awesome.
we will
Yes.
see
Yes.
what happens behind the scenes once you place the order. All right. So let me share my screen.
Viewers, get ready to see that demo.
Yep.
Combining all the things, and put your questions in the private chat. I'm gonna ask you again there after the demo.
Okay. So, I have three different systems here. One is Omnichannel Inventory, right? The other one is the order management. So, guys, I'm using here the developer edition. It's not the sandbox or a production version. I'm using the developer edition. I created this org on my own, and I just enabled the omni-channel inventory and the order management system here. So one thing I missed here is that to enable omni-channel inventory, you need a support ticket. You need to raise a support ticket to enable the omni-channel inventory in your org, and a separate support ticket to enable omni-channel inventory for your B2C instance. But in case of the order management system, no support tickets are required. The only place where you need support ticket is if you want to enable the self-service functionality when you integrate the cartridge. So now I have the Omnichannel Inventory app here, and I have the Order Management app here, and I have the B2C. I'm taking B2C as an example for this demo, and I have the B2C Business Manager, the Refark website, and this is my B2C store locator. Let me refresh it. Okay, so this is my B2C store locator, for example. Okay, this is my B2C store locator. The reason why I'm talking about store locator here is your item will be fulfilled by these stores, right? So when you place an order, all your items will be fulfilled by these stores. We'll talk about that where we can exactly use this store locator functionality. And I have an item here which is not available. If you look at it, this item is not available. Now, let me go to the B2C instance. So this instance is enabled with both order management system and also the omni-channel inventory. Now, if you go to administration and then the Salesforce order management, here if you look at it, the integration state is active, which means that whatever the orders that you place in this sandbox, those orders will start flowing to the order management system, right? You can see here the orders are being pushed to your order management system. And also if you look at the administration operations and then the OCI integration, so you can see the omni-channel inventory is enabled here. So if omni-channel inventory is not enabled here, you will not see this screen. This is where you will need to go raise a support ticket to enable the omni-channel inventory for your B2C instance. Now let me talk about the omni-channel inventory app for a minute. So we spoke about the locations and location groups, right? See, there is the location object here and location groups object here. If you go to the locations, these are all the locations from where the items can be fulfilled or shipped. If you look at it, even your warehouse is a location, and along with that I have a lot of other stores. So these are all the locations. These locations are grouped under the location group, that is Refark storefront. So if you look at the Refark storefront and go to the related tab, so these are all the locations this particular location group is representing. Now if you go to your B2C instance and go to the merchant tools and then go to the inventory, see the Refark storefront, right? This is your Refark storefront inventory list, and this one is pointing to a location group. But all other inventories here, these are all pointing to the individual locations, right? So this OCI location type that will talk about whether the inventory list is pointing to the location group or it is pointing to a location in the omni-channel inventory. So now what it means is that if I place an order in this particular website, the inventory will get detected from the locations which are assigned to this location group. So what are the locations assigned to this location group? Those locations are listed here. Okay, so and I have the home tab here where I can look up the inventory based on this queue. Now this is the item for which I want to load the inventory, right? So let us go and look up this item here if the inventory is available for this item in the omni-channel inventory or not. If you look at this, on hand is 0 in every single location, right? And location group represents these locations, so obviously the on hand value is 0 here as well. Now I want to load the inventory in this location, right? In these locations I want to load the inventory. Now I will go to the postman collection. Let me update this queue here. I'm just updating this queue, and saving it. And before that I need to get the authentication token. So I have provided this postman collection link in the presentation. We'll be sharing that PPT with you guys. And go back and update the inventory. See, the result is success. And if you look at it, for every single location, I have mentioned on hand value as 1. And for inventory underscore M, the on hand I have mentioned as 0. It is not necessary. Just for testing, I have mentioned it as 0. And every other location is having on hand value as 1. Now you go and do the lookup. If you look at it, every single location got one inventory here except this refark warehouse. And if you look at the on hand value here, it is sum of the on hand value of individual locations, right? So this is what we call as the unified view of inventory across all your fulfillment locations, right? So now if I have updated the inventory in the omni-channel inventory, not in my business manager, right? So now if I go and refresh the page here, see the item is in stock. So what happened now is basically simulating the WMS, right? We have used the headless APIs to update the omni-channel inventory, and the omni-channel inventory updated the inventory in the B2C instance, right? So now the item is in stock here. See, if you look at it, this particular site is pointing to the group, right? The location group, right? And that location group is having the inventory of 11. This site will not focus on how much inventory is there in the individual locations. It will look at the aggregate inventory. That is 11 here. So now I will go and place an order. With one item, I'm placing an order. Probably let me make it as 2, right? That will be easy. Going to the checkout. See, I'm placing an order with the shipping address as Washington State, right? When I'm talking about Washington, that we'll talk about in a minute.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Going to next, and the billing address is also same. I'm placing an order with a dummy credit card. So I have placed an order. Okay. So now, since we have placed an order, let us go and see what is happening for that order in the B2C instance. See, as soon as the order is placed, that order will start flowing to the order management system. It is saying sending, right? So in a minute, we'll be able to see that order in the order management system that is here, because these two systems are integrated already. Yeah. So meanwhile, let us go to the inventory app. We told that the inventory will be reserved as soon as you place the order, right? So now do the lookup again. Look at this. 2 items are reserved here. See, the ATF and ATO are decremented accordingly. But on hand is still 11 because I still have 11 items in my locations.
Correct.
Right? But people can order only 9 items because 2 are already reserved.
Yes.
Okay? So that is what is called reservation. But from this location, the inventory reservation should get transferred to these locations, because your location group is not gonna fulfill the items. The reservation should get transferred to the individual locations, right? To which locations it will transfer? Right? That is a question. So now, the reason why I said I'm using Washington as the state
Okay.
while placing the order, right? So my shipping location is this, but my fulfillment locations are here, right?
Yeah.
So there is one here, there is one here. I have around 11. So from which location you would expect the product?
Maybe the nearby location they
Yeah.
have to send, so that shipping charges they can reduce
Exactly, right? See, I have placed an order with 2 items,
Hmm.
right? And individual locations are having only 1 item. Every single location is having only 1 item. So obviously, no single location can fulfill your order,
it. Correct.
right? So it will get splitted.
Oh, our DMS is coming.
Yeah.
Distribute.
DMS is coming in the picture,
Okay.
right? And to the Washington, obviously, the first one, electronic superstore, is the nearest one.
Yes.
The next may be the 2 or 3. I'm not sure. Okay. Actually, there are 2 distance. Springfield or the super electronics.
Yeah.
So these 2 stores should get the reservations, and these 2 stores should be able to fulfill the items, right?
Okay.
Now look at this. My order number is 2301. Let us see if my order is here, right? Let me refresh it. See, 2301 is here. Okay.
Okay.
Now what will happen behind the scenes is that look at the the items here. It is saying allocated,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And also go to the related tab. There will be some schedules which will transfer the reservations from the location group to the individual locations. Now you go and do the lookup again. See, Electronic Superstore got one reservation, and Springfield, this one got another reservation.
Got
It
it.
got split, and that split happened based on the nearest stores from the shipping location of the customer.
Okay.
What
It's
will happen here? Obviously, the shipping cost will get reduced, right? From the merchant perspective. From the end user perspective, the delivery will be much faster,
exactly.
right? Think of that. What if this store got the reservation, store number 11,
Yeah.
right? Shipping cost is high, and also the delivery speed also will be high, right? So now,
It creates
okay,
an win-win situation for both.
exactly, yeah. Now these reservations got transferred here. Still, it is at 2, right? Because it is sum of 1 and 2, right? So now go here, go to the order summaries, and let us try to fulfill the item now, right? Shipping. Let us ship this item, not real shipping, but we'll try to simulate it.
I'm fine if you ship it to my address. I'm totally fine.
So go to the related tab. You look at it. There are 2 fulfillment orders created, one for each location. So each location will be represented by a fulfillment order. So let me go to the first one and try to create a shipment here. So obviously we need a shipment. So go to the shipment and just entering the mandatory details here. Okay, I've created a shipment. And also marking this item as fulfilled. So when you mark this item as fulfilled, what will happen is the payment will get captured, which means that whatever the authorized amount that will get transferred to the merchant account, the payment capture, right? So that will happen, and also the inventory will be fulfilled. So now, since the item is out, what will happen now? The on-hand inventory which should get reduced now.
From the WMS warehouse
Yeah,
or
and
yeah.
also the omnichannel inventory as well,
Correct. Correct.
right?
Yeah.
It should be in sync. WMS and omnichannel inventory both should be in sync.
Got it.
So now let me also fulfill the second one. See, only one item is fulfilled. That is the reason why it is saying partially fulfilled, right? Let me also go and fulfill the second one. So I'm marking it as fulfilled. Just marking it as fulfilled is not sufficient. We should also create a shipment for it. Okay? So now the item is completely shipped, right? So now we spoke about something called the self-service, right? Where
Yeah.
you can place the returns. So now go to your order history, right? Going to your order history, it's my account. See, the items here are marked as shipped. Now go inside the order. Go inside the order. See, you can return the individual items here. This is called the self-service. Now go to the, so this is powered by the plugin underscore order management system cartridge, the self-service cartridge. If you install it, then only you will get these options. Otherwise, you will not get this option. But still, you can use order management system. Now, I can, what I can do, I can return the items from here and select one return reason. Right? Hope you are getting, what happens behind the scenes. Yeah.
Correct. I can relate it with what I have done.
Yeah. Yes, I want to return. So now what will happen? This data will get posted to the order management system, and you can go and check that in your order management system. You can see what happens to your item. See, it is saying the return initiated. and the same status will get reflected even in your order status. See here, see it is saying written initiated. Okay, and this is self-service, but for example you are calling customer care and asking them to for example return my item, cancel my item, things of that nature. See, you can use these flows. So these are all these will trigger some flows which will enable you to cancel the item, provide additional discounts for your item, returns, RMA returns, reship the item. So the reship will come into the picture. For example, you have ordered 2 items, right? But after receiving the item, you have noticed that okay, there is 1 item missing. Then this is where, and you will call customer care saying, okay, 1 item is missing. What they will do, they will reship the order from that location, right? And also exchanges and order on behalf. For example, if you are facing difficulties in placing an order, you can call customer care and they can use this order on behalf feature to place an order, right? Um, so there is 1 item which is you know yeah, there are 2 items which are in written initiated status now. Those will be converted to returns. The status will be converted to return once the warehouse receives the items, and they will do the health check of those products. If everything is okay, they will initiate the refunds, and then they will update the inventory back after inspecting everything. Okay, so that is a very simple demo on how OMS, SFCC, and OCI will interact each other. So let me stop sharing.
Yeah.
So here are some references where you can explore or learn the omnichannel inventory and the order management system. So we have provided a couple of documentations here and a couple of trailhead links here. Personally, even I have learned these two platforms from these links. And if you have any questions in future about this omnichannel inventory and order management system, please don't hesitate to reach us. I have provided my LinkedIn URL here. You can reach out to me directly, or you can also contact us through our company website. So with that said, we came to the end of this session. And if there are any questions, Basant, over to you.
Yeah. First of all, that's actually a detailed demo. It's not a simple demo. End-to-end demo. Thank you so much. I'm sure people are going to bombard you on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
With the queries. In fact, people are personally pinging me for their questions.
Okay.
But actually, we exceeded the time. We are about 10 minutes past 5. But still, I'll accept few questions.
Sure.
So we'll wrap it up.
Yep.
The first thing they're asking actually as a customer or the merchant perspective, to implement a Commerce Cloud and that to OMS along with this OCI, what sort of licenses they have to procure?
Okay, so OMS and Omnichannel both comes with different licenses. Okay, so if some merchant is looking for using Omnichannel Inventory and OMS, they can reach out to their account executive. But only for exploring purpose, we can use developer arc, but not for the production. Okay, so these two comes with its own licenses. We can contact Salesforce through the account executives.
Okay, they are totally the separate licenses.
Separate licenses, yes.
Even the distributor management system.
It's part of Omnichannel Inventory and OMS, so it will be included. That's not a problem.
Okay, perfect. And the second question was, as you mentioned, the Omnichannel Inventory, we need to raise a Salesforce support ticket, and it will be enabled.
Yeah.
What is the duration of it? It's
they enabled it initially. When I raised the support ticket, they asked me to see it is in the beta version. First thing, okay, Omnichannel Inventory especially.
So, is it?
So that's what I can see here. See, if you look at the administration and the OCI integration, it looks to be it is in the beta version. With respect to the B2C, I'm talking about.
Okay.
With respect to B2C, it is in the beta version. But when I raised the support ticket, they said it will take around 3 days. But they provided the Omnichannel Inventory feature within a day.
Okay.
I raised in the morning, I got it by evening.
Very nice people. Very nice people. Thank you so much. And actually, there are a couple of questions. People, Deepak and others, sorry, you can post the questions. Ugandhar will get back to you. And even you can ping him in LinkedIn as well. Yeah. Thank you so much, the viewers, and especially Ugandhar. Thanks a lot. You had actually given not a glimpse, I could say. It's an end-to-end presentation about the OMS.
And thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining this session, and have a great rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, dear viewers, hope, as I said, you got an abundance of learning today, and this we will continue it for sure. And we have this OMS learn today, and next month we're gonna come up with another fantastic webinar on another emerging cloud or could be a technology in the Salesforce ecosystem. Keep in touch. Thank you so much. Let's catch up in the next webinar.
Thank you.
Thank you.